Hey guys, sorry that took so long. I was a bit burnt out because for the last 7 or so months, I've been making hour and a half to 2 hour long videos every single month. So I took a bit of a break in December. More icebergs are coming, don't worry, along with other videos like that Bigfoot gameplay video from the other day, which I think you should check out. It's what I'd call pretty funny. But yeah, more videos will coming out. I want to branch out the channel, but icebergs are still coming. So, with all that being said, hope you guys enjoy this video.
I am watching you pee!
Bionicle. Starting in 2001, Bionicle is arguably LEGO's most popular original theme. The theme came to be after LEGO creators thought that a LEGO theme with a storyline behind it would appeal to customers. And so they began their own project. There were 2 attempts before Bionicle, which I'll talk about a little bit later, but in 2001, Bionicle was born and was an instant massive success. Bionicle, unlike most LEGO themes, featured a massive epic tale of heroism, sacrifice, and adventure, as Toa teams battled the evil forces of darkness. These Toa were legendary warriors that wore massive power that gave them control over specific elements, like fire, water, earth, air, ice, stone, and light. Originally, the theme was supposed to end in 2009 with the Glatorian Legends wave, but people in LEGO fought for one more wave in 2010 to wrap up the storyline and go out with a bang. And by bang, I mean average sets that were tributes to early Bionicle sets, though Greg Farsty was actually given permission by LEGO to continue the Bionicle story online with new stories. So the original Bionicle story technically ended in 2011, not 2010. But yeah, Bionicle had a long-running comic series, several novel series, 4 different films made for it, and a 5th one that was cancelled, and 4 different console video games. It even got rebooted in 2015 to a very mixed response, though apparently this reboot didn't sell very well as it was cancelled in 2016, just a year later. Regardless of both cancellations, the Bionicle community is still as strong as ever, with fanfictions, fan games, reviews, fan-made sets, and brick films all being made. Bionicle isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Johnny Thunder. Johnny Thunder is the main protagonist of the LEGO Adventurers theme that ran from 1998 to 2003. This theme has a massive cult following, as Johnny Thunder was one of LEGO's first attempts at an original character. Obviously inspired by Indiana Jones, this theme had Johnny Thunder and his friends travel to the Amazon, Egypt, Dido Island, and India searching for treasure. Now there's actually 3 different Johnny Thunder continuities. The first being the theme itself, the second being Johnny Thunder being a character in movies that appears in films like Jurassic Park 3 for some reason, and the third being the LEGO movie universe, where he shows up in the first film in the background. The way Johnny Thunder also appears in a bunch of LEGO games like LEGO Racers 1 and 2, Stunt Rally, LEGO Island 2. You know what, scratch that whole thing. There's a lot of different Johnny Thunder continuities. Regardless of all that, his theme is a cult following, and maybe, just maybe, we'll see his theme revived one day. The original Batman series. Now every LEGO fan knows with the LEGO DC Superheroes theme. That began in 2012 and is still ongoing. But some may have forgotten that this wasn't the first time DC partnered with LEGO. From 2006 to 2008, LEGO produced the original LEGO Batman theme that featured 15 different sets and even had a video game. Most of the sets were based on designs from Batman the Animated Series, recent comics, and the 1960s Adam West series, though in 2008 The Dark Knight would also start being represented as well. The theme featured plenty of Batman minifigures, like Batman, Joker, Harley Quinn, Robin, Poison Ivy, Nightwing, Mr. Freeze, and even little penguins with guns. While the modern LEGO Batman sets are great, there's a certain charm of the original theme that makes it stand out amongst the rest of superhero themes. Promotional themes. Sometimes when a film is released, LEGO will team up with the studio behind said film to develop a small wave of sets based around the film. These themes aren't really expected to last very long and usually always end the same year they begin, as they're only there to promote the film and then, just kind of go away. Some of the biggest examples of these themes are the Lone Ranger theme, the 2014 TMNT film sub-theme, the Prince of Persia theme, yeah, remember the Prince of Persia movie? No, you don't. The Angry Birds movie, and Toy Story. Though Toy Story was brought back in 2019 to promote Toy Story 4. Now, I'm not saying any of these sets are bad, not at all, it's not even remotely what I'm saying. I'm just saying that these themes were primarily made to promote a recent film, and were quickly abandoned after the film became irrelevant. Legoland. Legoland is a theme park based around LEGO, though is primarily owned by Merlin Entertainment and not LEGO itself. Originally starting up in 1968, there's actually many different Legolands around the globe. Some being in the United States, Japan, Denmark, Germany, the United Kingdom, Italy, and Malaysia, with more being planned to open up in China, South Korea, and Belgium. There's a ton to do in Legoland, though most of the activities are for children under 15. Though there are still roller coasters you can still ride, and there's exclusive sets sold at Legoland, so there's that, I guess.
Hey!
It's become a tradition that in every LEGO City commercial, there will always be at least one LEGO guy shouting,
Hey! 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 Hey!
when they realize their gods haven't built them their vehicles. I do love how in-universe these LEGO figures just kind of accept the fact that giant hands will come down and build shit for them, and then sometimes like take control of their vehicles for them. What a horrifying reality to live in. Polybags. Polybags are extremely small LEGO sets, usually sold near the checkout counters in stores, online store bonus items, Legoland exclusives, etc. Some polybags are just small builds with no minifigures, while others include minifigures and small vehicles for them to use. Polybags aren't limited to really any theme, and can be found in a variety of LEGO themes. Even some of the promotional themes I mentioned earlier got polybags. LEGO Tower. In Milano, Italy, there's a LEGO tower that's 114 feet and 11 inches tall, that's made up of around 550,000 LEGO bricks. This tower was built from June 17th to June 21st, 2015. There's not really much else for me to say, outside the fact it was built to raise money for charity, and I don't think it's still up. This one comment also suggests this tower is taller than the Twin Towers. Yeah, about that. Oh wait, hang on, there's also a 118-foot tall LEGO tower in Israel that took the world record. This tower, dubbed Omer Tower, named after a 8-year-old cancer victim, took around a year to make, so I guess this is the tallest LEGO structure. Regardless of whichever is considered the tallest, both of these structures are extremely impressive. Attempts at replacing Ninjago. From 2011 onwards, Ninjago has been LEGO's #1 original action theme. But this wasn't the original plan. You see, despite how popular the theme had become in 2013, it was originally supposed to end, where it'd be replaced with the theme Legends of Chima. However, because of how popular it was, LEGO decided to keep Ninjago going, though they also decided to keep Legends of Chima going as well. Legends of Chima was even given its own show like Ninjago. But this theme and show didn't last very long, ending in 2015. But Ninjago kept going strong. Then, a year later in 2016, LEGO tried again and released a massive fantasy action theme called Nexo Knights. That again was given a show and was released alongside Ninjago, but both the show and theme ended in 2018. While never confirmed to actually be an attempt at killing Ninjago, many still see Nexo Knights as an attempt. It's actually kind of funny to see that these two massive themes tried to step up and take out Ninjago, but Ninjago's still going strong to this day, with a show that's lasted at least 14 seasons as of recording, and a movie that apparently Ninjago fans didn't like. I've never seen it. Then, there's Monkey Kid, another action fantasy theme that started out in 2020. Will this be the theme that finally kills Ninjago? Probably not. But hey, Monkey Kid has like really good animation for no reason. Like, it's crazy how good it is. Town versus City. One of LEGO's original core themes was LEGO Town. This theme had a ton of sets released from 1978 to 1996, with sub-themes like airport, divers, flight, race, rescue, service and repair, etc. However, after 1996, this theme ceased to be, excluding some junior sets that released up until 2001. But for the main sets, there wouldn't be a theme like Town until 2003, when it was revived under the name World City. This theme was far more action-focused, as most of the sets involved police, firefighters, and the Coast Guard, with very little sets released under this line that were just normal stuff like cars, trains, and planes. However, World City wouldn't last very long, and in 2005 it was renamed to LEGO City. For some reason, some people believe that Town and City were rival themes, but in reality, LEGO City was just the successor to the successor of LEGO Town. So it's like LEGO Town's grandchild in a way. The original Spider-Man series. Like with LEGO Batman, Spider-Man's many appearances in the superheroes theme wasn't actually the first time LEGO had produced Spider-Man sets. From 2002 to 2004, LEGO released numerous sets based on the first two Raimi Spider-Man films, with minifigures based on Spider-Man, Doc Ock, Green Goblin, Mary Jane, Aunt May, Peter Parker, Harry Osborn, J. Jonah Jameson, and yes, even Bonesaw. Well, actually, the Bonesaw set was never actually released, so I guess we couldn't get our 3 minutes of playtime. LEGO probably would have created sets based on Spider-Man 3, but after 2004, Mega Bloks got the rights to make Spider-Man sets, so we had to wait a long time to get our LEGO Sandman and LEGO Venom figures. Though even then, we still don't have the Raimi versions of those characters. Like with the original Batman theme, these sets have a certain charm to them that I really like, and I just don't think the new themes really capture. Dinosaur themes with no guns. LEGO's had quite a few different dinosaur themes over the years, but after 2005's Dino Attack, which I'll talk about a bit more later, every single dinosaur theme they've done since then has never had a single minifigure using a gun to fight the dinosaurs. Instead, using tranquilizer guns. Or, wait, is that a gun Dr. Grant's using? What is that? No, why aren't there any guns in these sets? I mean, it's only natural that a character would want to, fight off the dinosaurs with guns. Well, it's because in the last 10 years, LEGO's been cracking down on their no-gun policy in their sets, with the exceptions being Star Wars blasters, which even then, for a brief period of time, were replaced with these things that were very, very controversial. Will we see guns return whenever the Indiana Jones theme comes back to promote Indiana Jones 5? Probably. Maybe. I don't know. But regardless, the fact that there are no guns in any of these dinosaur themes, especially the Jurassic World and Jurassic Park themes, with, those movies having a fair bit of guns in them, the LEGO dinosaur themes are probably the biggest example of the no-gun policy that LEGO has. Before we continue, though, let me just say I'm not saying this as like a weird gun freak. No, I just kind of use the dinosaur theme with no guns to have a section where I talk about LEGO's no gun policy. That's why I did this. I truthfully, I don't care if there are guns in LEGO sets at all. The Lego Maniac. In the late 80s, LEGO released a series of commercials by a lunatic named Zach, who just so happens to be a Lego maniac.
I know a boy, his name is Zach. He loves to fit, he loves to stack. Yes, construction is his knack. He's Zach, the Lego maniac. He builds in the window, he's off the wall. He builds them big, he builds them small. In Lego land, he'll rock and roll. He's Lego wild, out of control. Zach, he's a Lego maniac. Zach.
Legoland, King's Castle, Airport, Cosmic Fleet Voyager, sold separately from LEGO Systems.
But then we got another commercial where Zach is replaced by Jack.
He's off the camp, his name is Jack. You just can't keep him in the sack, cause Lego makes him quite a whack. It's Jack, the Lego maniac. Building at the speed of light, Lego keeps him up all night. He's a pint-sized dynamo, a Legoland construction pro. Jack, he's a Lego maniac. Jack, he's a Lego maniac.
Lego Pirates and Castle sets, each sold separately from LEGO Systems.
I could do like a big joke here about how wacky it is that they changed the name, but honestly, with how popular these commercials are, I think you've heard all jokes that can be possibly made from this. What many people don't know, though, is that there was actually a tribute to this commercial released in 2014 made by the LEGO Group, and since then, Zach the Lego Maniac has remained dormant. Comic-Con figures. At certain conventions, including Comic-Con, LEGO will release exclusive minifigures based on more comic-accurate Marvel and DC characters, or characters based on films that don't get sets. For example, Electro from the Amazing Spider-Man 2 was released at a Comic-Con, despite there never being a set for TASM 2 ever being released. Though this figure was apparently given out at select Toys R Us stores in 2014, so there were other ways to get this one. Now, these exclusive figures have actually received backlash from people, as many of them are highly requested figures, so they feel it's really unfair for LEGO to only release them through certain cons, especially with DC, as LEGO has never made sets for the Arrowverse, but have released several minifigures at certain cons based on said universe, and Arrowverse fans aren't really happy that they have to go hunting down for these figures now. The 501st Battle Pack. Released in 2020, the set 501st Legion Clone Troopers was a set made in response to a large fan campaign that started back in 2018 when LEGO YouTuber Mandar Productions asked his fans to spam LEGO's social media posts with "We want a 501st Battle Pack." Now, while this may seem like an annoying fan thing, he only asked his fans to do so after an Instagram account called LEGO Star Wars Memes posted a comment on a LEGO social media post simply saying, "We want a 501st Battle Pack." But for some reason, LEGO deleted his comment. So really, this whole campaign was in response to this weird deletion. Eventually, LEGO caved in and released this set in 2020. LEGO Mindstorms. LEGO Mindstorms is a LEGO theme that began in 1998. It's a rather unique theme, in that it's all about creating wireless LEGO devices like robots. Now, I'm an idiot and don't really understand any of this stuff, but from what I've gathered, it's basically just baby's first coding, which isn't to say it's a bad thing. It just gets people into coding. It's with step one, it's what introduces people into coding, Like I said, I have no idea how to do this stuff. All I know is that you do something on the computer, and then you plug in commands into some motors, and then boom, you can make your own little robots walk and maybe shoot baskets or something. I'm not entirely sure. There's been 5 different generations of Mindstorms that have only gotten more advanced as they continue. And to this day, the theme is still going on. Though I'm pretty sure the most recent iteration of it has been discontinued. So I assume there's going to be another one. I'm not sure. Brick Films. Brick Films is the art of LEGO stop motion and was insanely popular back in the late 2000s and early 2010s. Though the first brick film that was ever created was back in 1973, made by Lars C. and Henrik Haseling, titled Journey to the Moon. Another really early brick film was The Magic Portal, which had a 5-figure budget produced from 1985 to 1989 in Australia. This brick film actually had some legal issues with it, but LEGO Group eventually backed down on the charges. I used to watch a ton of these YouTubers when I was a kid. There's Keshin 8, Forest Fire 101, which I talked about in my Batman Iceberg, Fancy Pants, Blob Studios, Golf Craziness 18, Darth Milo 77, CGT LV, Wimpy Cow Studios, Lego Dude 8000, Custom Lego Minifigure, and so on.
What's a die? It's when you die and you're dead, and your body parts come off.
Original Jurassic Park series. While many may believe that the first Jurassic Park theme started out in 2015, in actuality, the first Jurassic Park LEGO theme was in 2001. As part of the LEGO Studios theme, 2 sets directly based on scenes from Jurassic Park 3 were released. But instead of having figures based on the characters from the movie, Johnny Thunder and other LEGO original characters were used. So while an extremely small sub-theme, technically there was an original Jurassic Park theme 14 years before the theme would be revived. Hero Factory. Hero Factory was a LEGO theme that ran from 2010 to 2014 and had 6 different waves. It was about a team of robotic heroes who protected the world from various different threats. It was a lot more simple than its predecessor, Bionicle, which, yes, this theme was meant to be the successor to Bionicle, with the first wave even having writing on them saying, "From the creators of Bionicle." Despite LEGO's huge push to make them popular, many Bionicle fans hated them. Now, I'm not going to get too defensive of either side of this debate because, for whatever reason, in 2022, people still passionately hate this theme, but I honestly don't really see the problem with it. It was fine. Despite this hate, they were actually fairly popular, even getting an 11-episode series chronicling the characters' adventures throughout all the different waves. The theme also had a sub-theme called Hero Recon Team, which gave you the ability to design your own hero and get them shipped to you. But this didn't last very long, ending in just 1 year. The theme ended in 2014 that experimented by having the heroes battling giant kaiju-like monsters, which was portrayed by having the heroes be tiny little minifigures. Overall, Hero Factory was successful, but couldn't get a majority of the Bionicle fanbase on board. Luckily for them, Bionicle came back in 2015, but failed miserably and was cancelled in 2016 again. Nobody wins. LEGO Dimensions. LEGO Dimensions was a video game released in 2015, part of that big wave of games with toys that was started by Skylanders and continued with Disney Infinity, etc. LEGO Dimensions was a massive crossover game that had players buy figures in real life, then place the real-life minifigures on a gamepad, which unlocked them in the game. Some of these franchises included DC Comics, Lord of the Rings, The Lego Movie, The Wizard of Oz, Ninjago, The Simpsons, Doctor Who, Back to the Future, Jurassic World, Scooby-Doo, Portal 2, Adventure Time, Beetlejuice, The Powerpuff Girls, Knight Rider, Lego City, The A-Team, Harry Potter, E.T., Gremlins, Sonic, Mission Impossible, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Teen Titans Go, the Lego Batman movie, Legends of Shima, and Ghostbusters 2016. There were even locations in the game you could visit from different franchises, but these never got figures. These included Space Odyssey, Red Dwarf of all things, the Arrowverse Flash, Flintstones, and the Jetsons. Despite planning to have many more franchises included, LEGO stopped supporting the game in 2017 due to diminishing sales. Speaking of the cancelled planned franchises, cancelled Dimensions themes. LEGO had planned out several more waves of Dimension figures before they were all cancelled. These cancelled themes include Godzilla, King Kong, Pirates of the Caribbean, Universal Monsters, Mega Man, Minecraft, Arrow, The Flash, the 2017 Wonder Woman film, Despicable Me, the Angry Birds movie, Shrek, The Croods, How to Train Your Dragon, Captain Underpants, Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes, The Smurfs, Tintin, Thunderbirds, the 2012 TMNT series, Avatar The Last Airbender, and Steven Universe. Flash games. For the longest time, you could play Flash games on LEGO.com, though it's now pretty hard to find and play them since Flash shut down. To a lot of people, these games were a big part of their childhood, or at least a big part of their early internet experiences. I can list off so many LEGO Flash games I used to play a ton of, like Mars Mission's Crystallian Conflict, LEGO Studios Backlot, Bionicle Mari, The Quest for R2-D2, City Time to Build, Supersonic RC, Sentai Sessions, Paraka Attack, Lava Showdown, Train Game, Glatorian Arena, Tower Climber, Indiana Jones Adventures, Creats from the Deep, Galaxy City Getaway, and Tentacle Tickle. Ooh, not a fan of that title. I don't think they could call a game that nowadays. And before someone comments going like, not all these are Flash games, some of them are like made in Unity and stuff like that. I don't care. I'm not making a separate category for Unity games, and I mean, yeah, I probably should just call this section online games, but I don't care. I've gone too far now. It's too late to back out. Promotional sets. LEGO will occasionally release sets that use licensed brands. For example, LEGO City once had a set that was literally just a Toys R Us truck with a tiny little Toys R Us to go with it. Now, obviously, this set was a Toys R Us exclusive. You might think this is a new thing, but in reality, there's been plenty of sets like this in the past. One of the first examples was all the way back in 1966 with a Shell service station. This isn't even the only Shell gas station set. There was one in 1978 as well, in the town theme, along with small sets like the Shell filling station and the Shell service car, and even more Shell sets like the Shell tanker truck, the Shell tanker, the Shell garage, Shell tanker, Shell convenience store, Shell race car transporter, Shell service station, Shell car wash, Shell service station, Shell service station, Shell tow truck, Shell station, Shell tanker wagon, and even more Shell sets. Seriously, Shell and LEGO must have a really great Oh wait, we'll get to that relationship in a few. There's actually been other gas station companies too that have gotten LEGO sets, like an Exxon gas station set in 1980, and even an Esso gas station in 1955. There's also been promotional sets based on ferry lines, like Stena Line, Finjet, Stilja Line, and Viking Line. LEGO Ideas. Starting out in 2008, LEGO Ideas is the Japanese partner of the LEGO Group, who helped them produce community-supported sets. The way this works is that if an idea is submitted to their website and gets at least 10,000 votes, it gets a chance of becoming an official LEGO set. Some LEGO Idea sets include the Back to the Future Time Machine from 2013, Exo Suit from 2014, Ghostbusters Ecto-1 from 2014, Doctor Who from 2015, The Beatles' Yellow Submarine from 2016, The Big Bang Theory from 2015, Old Fishing Store from 2017, Voltron from 2018, Tron Legacy from 2018, Central Park from Friends from 2019, Steamboat Willie from 2019, The Flintstones from 2019, Treehouse in 2019, International Space Station from 2020, Home Alone from 2021, Seinfeld from 2021, Sesame Street from 2020, and the recently revealed Sonic the Hedgehog Green Hill Zone from 2022. Yeah, there's a lot of licensed sets here. Some LEGO Idea sets have been branched off into their own themes, like Micro World in 2012, which kickstarted the LEGO Minecraft theme. While a really cool theme, I will never forgive them for rejecting the Legend of Bionicle set. Infuriating. Duplo. Duplo is a LEGO theme that began in 1975, though it was only first called Duplo in 2004. and has a theme for children from the ages of 1 to 5. These sets are very small, with large minifigures and bricks to make sure they're safe for children of this age group to play with. Some people actually don't even know Duplo is an official LEGO license. Some legit think it's some LEGO competitor like Mega Bloks or Creo. Duplo has also had its own licensed themes, like Bob the Builder, Thomas the Tank Engine, Disney Princesses, Jake and the Neverland Pirates, and Cars. LEGO Animations. LEGO themselves have created tons of LEGO short films over the years to promote sets. Now, of course, they've also created the Ninjago series, the Legends of Shima series, the LEGO Cinematic Universe, rest in peace, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about stuff like Bombad Bounty, Raiders of the Lost Brick, the Prince of Persia mini-movie, The Quest for R2-D2, the Atlantis movie, and of course, Revenge of the Brick, which is one of the most disgusting things to ever be produced. Why did they give the LEGO characters skin? Why did they give the LEGO characters skin? Also, why is Yoda so tall in this? I've never seen Yoda this tall before. McDonald's toy. LEGO has partnered with McDonald's several times in the past to promote their products. Most of the time, they're just big, simple toys, like the Bionicle toys or the Batman toys. I remember getting the Kongu toy from the Toomara sets, and as a 7 and 8-year-old, I kind of pretended that it was Ironhide from the Transformers films. Don't blame me, I mean, come on, the resemblance is uncanny. Anyways, but sometimes they'll actually be small builds, like the LEGO hockey sets and the LEGO Bionicle Batorian sets. Also, there was an official McDonald's set released in 1999. I forgot to mention that in the promotional sets entry, so there you go. Cancelled sets. There's been a plethora of cancelled LEGO sets throughout the decades. There's a variety of reasons why a LEGO set may be cancelled, like the price to produce being too high, the lack of demand, waves being filled to the brim with sets already, part problems, etc. Countless sets never even leave the prototype phase, but some do, but are still cancelled despite appearing in promotional material like toy fairs, retail listings, and magazines. LEGO Star Wars fatigue. There's a good chunk of LEGO fans who are sick and tired of LEGO Star Wars. These people tend to think LEGO spends way too much on the theme, which causes LEGO to ignore other themes, which results in those themes either dying out, or only having a few sets released in a year. Now, it's definitely true that LEGO Star Wars does have a pretty large amount of sets each year, and is easily the most profitable LEGO theme to ever exist. So does that mean there is a fatigue? Well, I mean, yeah, I guess there is a fatigue, but for certain people. Like, anyone can be fatigued of a franchise while others are excited for new releases, so I don't know, buy them if you want them, don't buy them if you don't want them.
Coming up next,
Ninjago, Masters of Spin Jitsu.
on Cartoon Network.
A man has fallen into the river in Lego City. Start the new rescue helicopter. Hey! Build the helicopter. And off to the rescue. Prepare the lifeline. Lower the stretcher. And make the rescue. The new emergency collection from Lego City.
New Lego Aqua Raiders. While diving for the treasure, the Aqua Raiders are attacked.
Shark attack. All hands to battle stations.
You can build the submarine, prepare the crew, load the torpedo, and sail out to fight the deadly deep-sea creatures. You command the underwater battle in the new Lego Aqua Raiders playsets. Each set sold separately.
1 minute. Coming up next, Legends of Shima on Cartoon Network.
Rock Raiders. Rock Raiders was a LEGO theme that LEGO really wanted to be a big hit. The theme was centered around a group of miners trapped on an alien world. While trapped there, they come into contact with a hostile alien species called the Rock Monsters, along with some other creatures. So now it's a battle between the two species, as one tries to collect minerals from the alien world, while the other tries to stop them. Now, these miners aren't trying to take these minerals for no reason. They're doing so to repair their ship so they can actually leave the planet and just, leave the rock monsters be. This theme also included named characters, which was a pretty unique thing for the time, and had 3 different books made that expanded on the story. There was also a video game released in 2000 for PC and the original PlayStation, with the PC version being an RTS, while the PlayStation version just being an action game. There were plans for more Rock Raider sets, as in the Ultimate LEGO book it shows concept art for ice-themed vehicles. So it's possible that if the theme was more successful, Then the 2001 wave would include snow vehicles. But that didn't end up happening, and Rock Riders sadly ended after only 1 year. Or I guess technically 2 years, because 1999 and 2000. Power Miners. Power Miners was the spiritual successor to Rock Raiders. Released in 2009, Power Miners tells the story of a group of miners being sent into the Earth to investigate what's causing a series of severe earthquakes responsible for the destruction of several cities. They find out that these quakes are being caused by rock monsters devouring power crystals, which releases a large amount of energy. So they decide to take the crystals for themselves to stop the monsters from causing more destruction. The theme continued into 2010 with a small wave that continued the story as the team discovered lava rock monsters near the Earth's mantle. Power Miners didn't last very long though, despite how unique the sets were. Seriously, I really like the color scheme of these sets. As while its first year had 12 different sets, its second year only had 4. The theme was quietly cancelled in 2010, and since then, the idea of a miners versus monsters theme has never been revisited. There was also a game development codenamed Tunnel 13, but nobody knows if it was meant to be a flash game or a full-on video game, but it was cancelled alongside the theme. The lesser-known LEGO games. So everybody knows about the LEGO video games, right? Started out with hits like LEGO Racers and LEGO Island, before they decided to make Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Pirates of the Caribbean, Bionicle Heroes, the LEGO Movie game, Jurassic World, Marvel Superheroes, Batman, Avengers, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, etc. But there's actually LEGO games that aren't even remotely as well known as them. For example, there's actually a LEGO Incredibles game, a LEGO Hobbit game based on the first 2 Hobbit films, a game based on the Ninjago movie, and a game based on the second LEGO movie. Oh yeah, and LEGO Rock Band. But there's even more obscure ones, like LEGO City Undercover: The Chase Begins, a Nintendo 3DS exclusive prequel to the Wii U exclusive LEGO City Undercover. But even then, there's more obscure games like the PlayStation Vita games. Legends of Shima, Laval's Journey, Ninjago, Nindroids, and Ninjago Shadow of Ronin were all exclusively released for the 3DS and the PlayStation Vita, with the Shima game also getting a TS release. There's also LEGO Chess, which is exactly what you think it is, Drone Racers, which really didn't want you to know was a LEGO game, and LEGO Loco, which is a train construction game. The last one to note is the sequel to LEGO Battles. With LEGO Battles being a cult favorite, it's surprising nobody ever talks about its sequel, LEGO Battles Ninjago, which adapts the first season of the show, or pilot episodes, whatever you want to call them. Vikings. Vikings was a LEGO theme introduced in 2005 as a filler theme, meant to fill in the gap between Knight's Kingdom and the 2007 Castle theme. This theme was simple enough. It was about Vikings battling giant creatures and trying to survive the harsh elements. Your standard Viking tale. However, the theme was so popular that it was actually given a second wave of sets in 2006, despite the original idea being that this theme was just going to be a one-off theme, last 1 year. Despite the end of its lifespan in 2006, the fact that the theme only had 7 sets, plus a chess set, it still has a fairly big following nowadays. It's honestly surprising LEGO has never brought this theme back, or even just mess around with the idea of Vikings again. The Kenner Sandspeeder. When it comes to LEGO making Star Wars sets, they're usually based on something, no matter how obscure. Besides the couple years where they tried to make original Star Wars sets, but besides that. Anyways, like I said, they're normally based on things, no matter how obscure. I mean, look at the Rebel Trooper pack from 2010. That vehicle was thought to be an original creation for years, but no, it's actually based on an extremely obscure background vehicle from The Empire Strikes Back, though it was seen in more detail in deleted scenes. Anyways, the most obscure Star Wars vehicle to ever be turned into a LEGO set is the Sandspeeder from 2018. It's based on a vehicle that was never in any visual Star Wars media, and was known for decades as just a toy from the cancelled Kenner line, The Epic Continues, from the 1990s. Mr. Gold. Mr. Gold is a rare LEGO minifigure featured in Series 10 of the minifigures theme. Only 5,000 of them exist, and he's actually made of gold. Okay, that last part's not true. Mr. Gold is just painted gold. He's not actually made of it. If you were one of the lucky people in 2013 to get one, you could register the figure on LEGO.com, so that LEGO could keep track of how many of them have been found. However, some haven't been registered, which means that some Mr. Gold figures are still out there, waiting to be discovered. Or the person that got them just didn't register them. Good chance it's the latter. Discovery Channel. What's easily one of the most forgotten licensed themes out there is the Discovery Channel theme from 2003. Only 6 sets were made for the theme, and only one of those sets had minifigures, though these 2 Apollo astronaut minifigures are actually exclusive to the set. The theme was centered around real-life space exploration, and even had NASA logos on many of the space shuttles. However, because of how small the line was and how quickly forgotten it was, I think it's safe to say this theme wasn't extremely successful, though I could be wrong because from my research it seems that a lot of these sets were limited time things, so who knows, maybe they weren't like mass-produced. Lost licenses. What might be surprising to some people is that LEGO has actually lost the rights to some of its many licensed themes over the years. The most famous examples of this are the SpongeBob theme, which LEGO lost sometime before 2014, the original Spider-Man theme, which I mentioned earlier in the video, which they lost sometime before 2007, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme, which LEGO lost sometime before 2016. Which is funny because LEGO actually took the TMNT line from Mega Bloks, but then lost it to Mega Bloks. In the cases of SpongeBob and TMNT, though, it seems that Mega Bloks are doing a lot more of these themes than LEGO ever did. Jabba's Palace controversy. Released in 2012, the Jabba's Palace set was released to pretty good reviews. However, after a few months, it was accused of being racist. The Turkish cultural community in Austria stated in 2013 that, and I quote, "The terrorist Jabba the Hutt likes to smoke hookah and kill his victims. It is clear that the figure of the ugly villain Jabba and the whole scene serves up racial prejudice and vulgar insinuations against Orientals and Asians as sneaky and criminal personalities." They also compared the design of the set to Istanbul's Hagia Sophia, which is a very important building in Islam. So, too long didn't read, they said that the set reinforced negative Muslim stereotypes because of the resemblance of the building. In response to this controversy, LEGO stated that the set would be discontinued, when it was already supposed to be discontinued. Yeah, they actually agreed to stop selling the set by 2014, but they had already planned on stopping towards the end of 2013, so this didn't really change anything.
Here it is right here. The Rancor, ladies and gentlemen, is racist.
Brick Like Me. Brick Like Me is the 20th episode of Season 25 of The Simpsons, released on May 4th, 2014. Good God, when will it end? Anyways, this is a special episode as the entire thing is filmed in LEGO. Or animated to look like LEGO. I guess it was too much to do like a stop-motion episode, which honestly probably would have been way more interesting. Though I'll admit Maggie being a Duplo figure is actually pretty funny. I remember watching this episode when it aired, but I don't remember if I liked it or not. But according to critics, it was actually one of the best episodes of The Simpsons in over a decade. Which is really sad. Really sad. Everyone says that the Lady Gaga episode's the worst, but I mean, are we all just going to forget the episode that was like an anthology? And that followed Moe's bar rag around through history? Are we just going to ignore that episode? Is that just something we're going to do? Dino Attack vs. Dino 2010. Released in 2005, Dino Attack is a cult favorite LEGO theme that didn't really last long, as it only lasted 1 year and had 5 sets. But it was this Dino Apocalypse theme, and that's really cool. Seriously, give me a Rain of Fire-like movie, but instead of dragons, it's dinosaurs. But yeah, this theme only had 5 sets, sadly. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. It had 10 sets. Kinda. You see, Dino Attack was apparently too violent for Europe, as the boxes had destroyed cities, and the entire idea of the theme was dudes killing dinosaurs. So the theme was actually reworked for its European release, and renamed Dino 2010. This European exclusive theme takes place after Dino Attack, and is about the apocalypse being avoided, and now humanity is left to capture the dinosaurs, instead of killing them. The sets featured in Dino 2010 weren't completely new sets, however. They were just edits of the original sets, just made to be less violent. For example, instead of vehicles having large weapons, they're given grappling hooks and cages. As mentioned earlier in this video, I'm fairly certain this whole situation is why LEGO will never have guns in their new dinosaur themes. The Adventures of Clutch Powers is a direct-to-DVD film released in 2010. It's about an adventurer named Clutch Powers who just kinda does anything. Like, he's sent to go recapture a bunch of prisoners who escaped from the Space Police prison, but, like, why was he in the Power Miner's mind at the beginning of the film? But yeah, anyways, the plot of the film is essentially just that. Clutch Powers and a team go around the LEGO universe to investigate a prison break, and that's it. The film was kind of what the Lego movie wasn't. That movie had heart put into it and told the story first and advertised stuff later. The Clutch Powers movie was just like, hey look, Space Police and Power Miners. Those are some pretty recent themes, go buy those sets. Wow, they're wearing Mars mission outfits. You can probably buy those on like at Target or something. Oh wow, a Lego Agents cameo, that's crazy, go buy those sets. Lego Castle's here too, wow, go buy those sets. Look at those Lego City sets, you want those? Come on. I remember absolutely loving this film when I was a kid, but I have a feeling now if I went back to it, I'd probably hate it. Anyways, this film actually got a sequel that was a 4D short film, so I guess it's a kind of sequel. Hang on, Google, I don't think that's the film. Shockingly, Clutch Powers actually made another appearance in the 11th season of Ninjago, though he's voiced by a different voice actor and the events of the film aren't canon. The Billion Brick Race. In 2015, a new installment of the LEGO Cinematic Universe was announced, The Billion Brick Race. Inspired heavily by the film The Cannonball Run, this film went through some serious troubled production as the film kept switching writers and directors. Eventually, in late 2019, it was announced that the film had been cancelled, due to the LEGO Ninjago film and the LEGO Movie 2 not doing so well in theaters, and the film's already lengthy production period. Some of the people involved at various periods were Jason Segel and Drew Pearce, who were hired to co-write and co-direct, and George R. Gutierrez, who was meant to direct. The reason for flesh-colored minifigs. So in all licensed LEGO sets nowadays, LEGO minifigures have flesh-colored faces, while all original themes like City have the classic yellow faces. This wasn't always the case, however, as up until 2004, every single LEGO Star Wars and Harry Potter set had yellow faces. So why did they change this? Well, there's two theories. The first being the idea that if LEGO is going to make a figure of a character played by a real-life actor, they should give the figure their skin color to make them more recognizable. After all, nobody in real life is actually, bright yellow. The other theory is that in 2003 and 2004, there was the introduction of black LEGO figures, like Lando and some of the NBA players. And LEGO didn't want to do a Simpsons thing where everyone is yellow except for the minority characters, so they just gave everyone flesh-colored faces. Just Too Good. Just Too Good is a LEGO YouTuber who kinda does it all. He makes reviews, news updates, opinion-based videos, top 10s, LEGO hauls, and even fan-made custom minifigure draft videos. He's a well-rounded, well-known LEGO YouTuber who I watch a ton of. I highly recommend checking him out, as he's one of the best out there. Space Police. Space Police is one of LEGO's most beloved original themes. First introduced in 1989, they were meant to counter the Blacktron theme, which were declared to be the bad guys in the space continuity. Or at least, one of the bad guys. Anyways, Space Police sets had the ability to swap jail cells around to be traded between vehicles. Though popular, the theme didn't last too long, but was only the first run of Space Police, as in 1992, Space Police returned with Space Police 2. This sequel theme ran from 1992 to 1993 and featured a new green look, and most of the vehicles were noticeably less armed than the Space Police of old. Sadly for Space Police fans, after 1993, the Space Police theme would go into hibernation until Space Police 3 in 2009, which ran until 2010. This Space Police theme was very different from the others, as in the older themes, the Space Police were capturing human criminals, while in Space Police 3, they were going after exclusively alien criminals. They also featured way more unique minifigures and vehicles. Sadly, Space Police 3 ended in 2010, and since then the franchise has never been revisited. Who knows though, it took 16 years for Space Police 3 to come out, so maybe Space Police 4 will happen one day. Space continuity. What many people don't know is that a pretty good chunk of the LEGO space themes take place in the same continuity. For example, all the Space Police themes I just talked about are actually canon to Ice Planet 2002, a theme released from 1993 to 1994 that tells the story of civilian astronauts doing secret rocket research on a mysterious ice planet. And in-universe were protected by the Space Police 2, from the Blacktron Future Generation, a sequel theme to the original Blacktron theme. This theme ran from 1991 to 1992, while the original Blacktron theme ran from 1987 to 1990. They're basically just like space pirates. So that's 6 themes so far, but there's also M-Tron, which were also protected by Space Police 2. This theme ran from 1990 to 1991 and told the story of what was basically the space equivalent of firefighters. Well, except for the United States, because for whatever reason, they were treated as a mining group. Then there's the Futuron theme, which ran from 1987 to 1990, which were a group of peaceful astronaut explorers that competed against the space pirates from Blacktron. Then there's Unitron, which ran from 1984 to 1995, and was basically the replacement for the Space Police 2 theme as the good guy faction. Only now, they weren't a police force, but just a straight-up military force. Then there's also Spirus and Explorians, which are two different themes that are a little more vague in how they connect with the rest of the space continuity, but I'm pretty sure are canon. And finally, there's Classic Space. Yup, the first ever space theme is canon only because in Space Police 3, there's a statue of one of the classic space astronauts. This theme ran from 1978 to 1988, and is the grandfather of all LEGO space themes. So, in short, pretty much every LEGO space theme is canon to each other, except for Roboforce, UFO, Insectoids, Life on Mars, Mars Mission, Alien Conquest, Galaxy Squad. My LEGO Network. My LEGO Network was a LEGO social media for children launched in 2008. This social media had you rank up and unlock stickers to customize your profile. You could collect and trade items, make friends, and just kind of waste time. Seriously, I remember being addicted to this site in the late 2000s. I remember spending hours customizing my page and playing the minigames. There were also campaigns where you could interact with characters from certain themes, like Bionicle. My LEGO Network also had its own mascot called Echo, who was just a robot head who loved to eat apples somehow, though he would later be given a body. Sadly, the website was shut down in 2015, though in all honesty, that's a lot longer than I expected it would last. Rest in peace, my LEGO Network. You will be missed. And hey, it's the only social media left that Trump's not banned on. Bandar Productions. Bandar Productions is a LEGO YouTuber most known for his LEGO Star Wars content, though he'll occasionally throw in some other LEGO themes onto his channel. He normally does reviews and update videos, though by far my favorite of his content are his compare and contrast videos where he'll take LEGO Star Wars sets of old and compare them with their more recent versions. And yeah, I mentioned him earlier when I talked about the 501st Battle Pack. Check him out, great content. Exoforce. In the mid-2000s, in order to ride off the recent anime hype in the United States, LEGO created the theme Exoforce and released it in 2006. It was a mecha anime-inspired LEGO theme, but about a mountain split down the middle connected only by bridges. On this mountain raged a war between humanity and robots, who originally were mine workers but turned into power-thirsty warriors, with a desire to enslave humanity. Though the story wouldn't just stay at the mountain bridges, it would later expand to the Golden City and later the jungle surrounding the mountain. This theme has an insanely big cult following, as its storyline was never actually resolved, and honestly, just the idea of a mecha anime LEGO theme is kinda cool. Honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to an actual, anime being made about the concept of the show, purely because I just think the location is really cool. I really like the mountain with the bridges connecting them. Despite the theme being heavily pushed by LEGO at the time, it ultimately was cancelled prematurely, after only 2.5 years. But, like I said, this theme has a massive cult following, so maybe, just maybe one day, it'll get revisited. Let's be real, it won't. LEGO Super Friends. In 2017, the LEGO Batman movie was released and was received really well. People absolutely loved it, and it made a bunch of money. So Warner Bros. Greenlit a sequel in 2018, with Chris McKay returning to direct. But then Warner Bros. Lost the LEGO film rights to Universal, so the film legally can't happen now, which, yeah, means it's cancelled. In June 2021, it was revealed that this film is being written by Michael Waldron and Dan Harmon, and would have taken notes from The Godfather Part 2 of all things and Boogie Nights. The film also would have been titled LEGO Super Friends, and would have been about Batman and Superman's relationship, with the main villain of the film being Lex Luthor. How does it make you feel knowing that we will never ever see Will Arnett's Batman ever again? LEGO Architecture. LEGO Architecture is a LEGO theme that started out in 2008, and is a theme dedicated to creating mini versions of famous buildings across the globe. The theme has evolved from just being mini versions of buildings to entire city skylines. I remember as a kid being like, "Oh, this is so lame, where are the minifigures?" But as an adult, I gotta admit, a lot of these sets do look really nice. There was also an architecture theme in 1962, but it's completely unrelated, and they weren't microscale at all, nor did they replicate real-world buildings. They were just kind of, well, whatever these are. Monster Fighters. Monster Fighters was a quickly forgotten about LEGO theme introduced in 2012 that lasted only 1 year. The story behind the theme is about how monsters are trying to collect moonstones around the world to destroy humanity by eclipsing the sun forever, which would allow monsters to travel to the human world and, I don't know, I guess just kill them all. And so a team of monster fighters come together to stop them. Now, when I say that this theme was quickly forgotten about, I mean that the LEGO group forgot about this theme, not the community. As from what I've seen, this theme is beloved by most people for its sets, not just because they're all designed well and look great, which they do, but because 2 of the sets are basically just stealth remakes of LEGO Studio sets, like Werewolf Ambush being remade into The Werewolf, and Scary Laboratory into The Crazy Scientist and His Monster. It's a real shame that this theme ended so quickly. Who knows what other sets they could have made, and who knows what other studio sets they could have remade. The LEGO Bible. So like the classic Minecraft Bible, there's also a LEGO version of the Bible titled The Brick Bible. Written by Brendan Powell Smith, this version of the Bible comes with fun pictures, like this one. And this one, I love this one so much. And, oh, yeah, there's also circumcision in this book. Yep, there's, LEGO circumcision. I don't know how to feel about that. Now, you might be wondering, it's not the whole Bible, right? It's 576 pages long. It's pretty much most of the Bible, though I don't think they cover Revelations, because that would be a little too oh, wait, no, it does. It does cover Revelations. Okay, sweet Jesus. There's also a special book dedicated to the Easter story, so it's like DLC. As of writing this, I am extremely tempted to buy this book. I may be an atheist, but come on. How can I pass up on such an amazing story? There is LEGO circumcision in this book. I can't get over that. This is an edit 2 minutes after I recorded that last section. I bought it. It's just, come on, look at this. How could you... Nick on Planet Ripple. Nick on Planet Ripple is a LEGO YouTuber who's most well known for his LEGO Rewind series, where he goes back and looks at LEGO themes of old and discusses what he dislikes about them all. Basically, a giant LEGO retrospective. Though he also does LEGO mod videos and has his own graphic novel called Planet Ripple. I'd recommend checking out his channel. He hasn't uploaded it in a bit, but his backlog of content is great. Ben 10. Ben 10 has a LEGO theme based on the cartoon franchise of the same name. It was released in 2010 at the very end of Bionicle's lifespan, and kind of bombed. Like really hard, actually. As in, it only lasted 6 months on shelves. Apparently, this theme is one of the worst-selling LEGO themes ever, which is surprising to me because I thought the show was super popular back in the day. Now, I personally never watched Ben 10. I just saw the occasional clip on TV and was like, hey, you know, Ben and Gwen, they'd make a great couple, right? Then I found out years later that they, they're cousins. It's not... Don't do that. Don't do that, folks. But yeah, this theme was a massive failure due to the sets being overpriced and people hating the designs. Also, people thought this was like the Bionicle replacement theme, so that also probably didn't exactly help it. Maybe there are fans of this theme nowadays, maybe, like, I don't know, maybe someone has nostalgia for them. I mean, there's unironic Ben and Gwen shippers out there to this day, so, I mean, anything's actually possible. Oh yeah, they gave up this, like, promotional Duplo brick at Legoland Windsor. I didn't know where else to put that, so there you go. LEGO Agents Trilogy. There's been 3 major attempts by LEGO to create secret agent themes. They started out in 2000 with a video game, LEGO Alpha Team, which was a puzzle game. This game would then be adapted into a LEGO theme a year later, with multiple sets and a colorful cast of characters. And a lot of skeleton guys. Alpha Team continued on until 2003, where outside of a single polybag, not a single Alpha Team set was released that year. So most people just kind of assumed that the theme was cancelled. That was until 2004, when the theme came back with a vengeance, with a new logo, new team members, new villains, and an entirely new setting, Antarctica. Fun fact about this sub-theme is that its name, Mission Deep Freeze, wasn't actually made by LEGO. It was given that name by fans on internet forums, but LEGO liked it so much, they just kinda took it. Despite its popularity, Alpha Team was discontinued in 2005, though this didn't stop people from loving the theme, as Alpha Team is looked back on pretty fondly by many people. So this led LEGO to start fresh in 2008 with LEGO Agents, which was more like a parody of James Bond and the Mission Impossible films, while Alpha Team is more of a tribute to 80s action cartoons. Despite the theme being rebranded in 2009 into Agents 2.0, which was, just, hey, what if the LEGO Agents had body armor? Agents was discontinued after only 2 years, though it was briefly brought back in 2017 as DLC for the video game LEGO Worlds. After Agents ended, there wasn't any spy theme until 2014, when Ultra Agents was released. Ultra Agents takes place in the near future in a sci-fi-like city where they battle supervillains. I assume their society got so advanced because humanity defeated the aliens that were trying to take over the world and they reused their tech. Oh right, I forgot to mention, Ultra Agents is canon to Alien Conquest and Galaxy Squad, as the character Solomon Blaze from Galaxy Squad is now a member of Ultra Agents. Ultra Agents, however, didn't last much longer than Agents, as it ended in 2016. And since then, we haven't gotten any spy theme. First LEGO League. Starting in 1998, the First LEGO League Challenge is an international competition organized by FIRST for elementary school and middle school students. It's a competition involving robotics every August, where students work to figure out a solution to a problem and then meet for regional, national, and even international tournaments to compete. There's even a version of the event for younger children, called First LEGO League Explore. Currently, there's over 35,000 teams across the globe. Bootleg LEGO. Just like with every other major toy brand, there's a ton of bootleg LEGO sets out there. These are usually made for cheap, so usually the figures and the sets themselves don't really stay together very well, and are prone to falling apart. They're also usually themes that LEGO would never make, like Squid Game or Fortnite. Well, okay, maybe they would make a Fortnite theme, but regardless, they haven't yet. It's a hot topic in the LEGO community when it comes to buying bootlegs. Some say it's bad because nobody knows who made them, so you don't know where your money's going, while others say it's just funny to buy them, so who cares. One thing's for sure, though, LEGO doesn't really like them. Castle continuity. Just like with the space LEGO themes, most of the castle LEGO themes are in the same continuity. Starting in 1984, there were multiple factions released throughout the years for kids to collect and battle with. Each faction with its own sub-theme. So you had the Crusaders, who were not like the Crusaders from real life, thank God. I don't really think LEGO would be cool with doing a religious genocide theme. They were also known as the Lion Crest, and had new sets released up until 1992. Then there's the Black Falcons, who weren't recognized by LEGO as a faction, despite them being a sub-theme and given a name, but whatever, I guess. They're also known as the Guardians of the Grey Castles, or the Eagle Crest. And just like the Crusaders, they got sets released up until 1992. Starting in 1987 and ending in 1990, the Forest Men were a Robin Hood-like faction who carried bows and arrows around. They mostly just kind of chilled out in the forest and such. Then there's the Black Knights, who I guess were just your standard knights, but they're just called Black Knights. They had sets released from 1988 to 1993. In fact, in 1990, they even merged with the Crusaders to form one theme. But I guess that didn't really work out, as in 1992, they were back to being separate factions. There's the Wolfpack faction, which are basically just your standard band of robbers you'd find in Skyrim. You know the ones. The ones that know that you're a level 100 Dragonborn, who saved the world, and they're still like, give me 5 gold or die. They only lasted like 2 years, from 1982 to 1993. And then there's the Dragon Masters, who started out in 1983 and ended in 95. They were led by a magical wizard and had pretty bright colored armor. And they also had dragons, which that was pretty important to them as well. Then there's the Royal Knights, which lasted from 1985 to 1997, and were a really small faction that stick to themselves. So much so that they didn't really have much of a way of combat. I guess they just kind of hoped everyone in the castle universe would just be chill and wouldn't fight. Then there's the Fright Knights, who are some of the more evil people in the continuity. They had sets from 1997 to 1998, and were led by a Bat Lord, whatever that means. And finally, there's the Dark Forest theme, which was a revival of the Forestman theme, though it only lasted 1 year in 1996, and these guys weren't your happy-go-lucky Robin Hood guys, but were more bandit-like. And that's pretty much it. There's been other castle themes, like the 2007 castle theme, which is my personal favorite castle theme, 2 different runs of Knight's Kingdom, and a really short-lived 2013 castle theme. Seriously, does anyone else remember that? But these are all their own continuities. There's also the Ninja theme from 1998 to 1999. That's kind of its own thing, but it was still like a castle sub-theme, so I guess you could say it's canon to like all the other ones, but I mean, there's not really anything connecting it. But there's nothing that's like not connecting them. The same goes with the classic castle theme. Nothing really connects them, but I mean, there's nothing that doesn't connect them. So I mean, like, why not be canon? You know?
Coming up next, Lego Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Out.
New from Lego Castle. The evil troll warriors are on the attack in their massive warship. Now you can join the battle. Prepare the catapult and strike back against the evil enemy. You command the legendary battle. In the new Lego Castle playsets. Each set sold separately.
New from Lego Space Police. The intergalactic bank has been robbed. Build your Space Police cruiser. Blast off at hyperspeed. Chase down the space crook. And stop him in his tracks. In space, crime doesn't pay. Freeze, mister. The new collection from Lego Space Police. Each set sold separately.
Later, Lego Star Wars Padawan Menace on Cartoon Network.
Jack Stone. Jack Stone was one of Lego's earliest attempts at a mascot character. Jack Stone was a theme that starred the man named Jack Stone, who was Lego City's greatest hero. Or should I say busiest man in Lego City, because this dude is a police officer, a Coast Guard member, a pilot, a firefighter, and a rescue worker. Now you may have noticed something with these sets. They look very different from every other Lego set. This is because Jack Stone was a theme aimed at a younger demo, kind of like Duplo. This theme would go strong from 2001-2003, until Jack Stone was scrapped and replaced with the theme 4+, which kept the same minifigure style. Though Jack Stone himself would occasionally make an appearance in these 4+ sets. But that wasn't the end of Jack Stone, as in Legoland Windsor he would show up at the theme park to save people trapped in a burning lighthouse. This attraction would outlast Jack Stone in 4+ for many years, until it was eventually replaced with a new attraction, Pirates of Skeleton Bay. Before I go to the next entry, I just have to talk about the Jack Stone toothbrushes. There were 9 different Jack Stone toothbrushes that you could collect, that each came with a Jack Stone minifigure. Oh, and there was also like a Jack Stone movie released in 2001 for free if you part of the Lego Club magazine membership. Avatar: The Last Airbender. In 2006, Lego released 2 different themes based on Nickelodeon properties, SpongeBob SquarePants and Avatar: The Last Airbender. Both were tests to see which theme was more popular, as only one of them would become a multi-year theme. Sadly for Avatar fans, SpongeBob was far more popular. Lego then debated on rebranding both themes under one theme called Nickelodeon. But that didn't happen, and Avatar was ultimately dropped. Not just because SpongeBob was more popular, but because Avatar was scheduled to end in 2007, so Lego didn't really think the franchise would be profitable after the show ended. Because of all this, Avatar: The Last Airbender is the smallest Lego theme to ever exist, with only 2 sets ever released. Boba Fett's Starship. So this is going to get a weird amount of people angry in the comments, which I welcome because that's funny. But anyways, the newest version of the LEGO Slave 1 has been released as Boba Fett's Starship. This has caused some controversy as people accused LEGO of censoring the name because it had the word slave in it. Which, that's true. Who cares? I'm sorry, but I find it very hard to care about this. I mean, hell, if you want like an in-universe explanation, Boba Fett at the moment is more honor-coded now, so you probably wouldn't want to be rolling in the ship called the Slave 1. It's a very silly controversy, and I really can't take anyone really seriously if they claim they're upset by a LEGO set's name. McCree's BAMF belt. So in Overwatch, McCree, or I guess Cole Cassidy's, belt reads BMAF, which stands for Badass Mother Effer. Well, when a LEGO minifigure of Cassidy was created for LEGO Overwatch, his belt was just completely removed from his design, as LEGO isn't really a big fan of LEGO sets having references to the F word. Honestly, I wish instead of BMAF, they put like just the word LEGO on his belt. That's like a neat little censorship thing, but just removing it I guess is fine too. World Racers. World Racers was an extremely short-lived theme from 2010, about 2 teams racing around the globe for a reality TV show called LEGO Sports TV. These teams being the Backyard Blasters and Team Extreme. The theme featured unique vehicles with cannons and dynamite, which is kind of weird. Like, are they trying to kill each other? Is this like a modern-day Gladiator kind of thing? The theme was a spin-off to LEGO Racers, which was the very long-lasting theme of race cars, though those sets rarely had minifigures, while World Racers had plenty of them. Also, Wikipedia says it's very similar to the popular video game Split Second? I'll take their word, I guess. I doubt LEGO based the theme on it, though. Despite the theme looking pretty cool, and being a rather unique idea for a LEGO theme, the theme only lasted 1 year and was quickly forgotten to time. Cancelled LEGO James Bond game. In the mid-2000s, Traveler's Tale were in the process of acquiring the rights to produce a LEGO James Bond video game, due to the success of the original LEGO Star Wars game. This game would have most likely been an adaptation of several older Bond films. I'd guess probably GoldenEye, Moonraker, The Man with the Golden Gun, Dr. No, and Die Another Day. But keep in mind, none of those are confirmed, I'm just speculating. Now Activision, who had the Bond game rights at the time, were actually on board with this game, as well as the Broccoli family, who owned the Bond film rights. The only company that stopped this game from happening was LEGO. Because you see, while Bond has never been a kids franchise, kids could watch most of the films. But Casino Royale had just come out, and suddenly the James Bond brand was strictly for adults. I mean, I can't really see LEGO adapting the chair seat from Casino Royale. So the game was scrapped, and the only thing that remains of it is a test animation of what Bond could have looked like. Cancelled LEGO Tomb Raider games. At roughly around the same time as the Bond game, Traveler's Tale also attempted to get the rights to Tomb Raider to make a LEGO game out of it. This could have happened, but ultimately Traveler's Tale decided that Tomb Raider at the moment wasn't a big enough brand to justify a LEGO game, compared to, say, Star Wars or Batman. But I guess they really wanted to make this game, so they decided to contact Lucasfilm and pitched a LEGO Tomb Raider Indiana Jones crossover game. But they were instantly shut down by Lucasfilm, because apparently at the time, Lucasfilm really hated the Tomb Raider franchise, as they believed it had copied Indiana Jones. And they're absolutely correct. I mean, remember the scene from Temple of Doom where Indiana Jones battles dinosaurs? Or the scene from The Last Crusade where Indiana Jones shot a kid assassin riding a skateboard? As with the Bond game, only a test animation of what my wife Lara Croft would have looked like was ever made. Alcohol in LEGO sets. So LEGO has a rule that there can't be any alcohol in any LEGO set. Not even a reference to it. I mean, hell, with the LEGO Simpsons theme, they changed Duff Beer to Buzz Cola. However, there's been 2 examples of this rule being broken in modern LEGO sets. The first being in the set Bro Thor's New Asgard, which, while not explicitly alcohol, considering that the only thing he was drinking in that scene was, alcohol, there's a good chance that those bottles are meant to be empty beer bottles. And there's also the 2016 Volkswagen Beetle from LEGO Creators. This set comes with a red cooler filled with green bottles and cans, so I mean, come on, that's probably alcohol. Ghostbusters controversy. So there is a LEGO Ideas pitch for the Ghostbusters HQ by the Swiss Ghostbusters team that reached its goal of 10,000 votes, but was eventually denied by LEGO because it was apparently too big. Sucks to see, but hey, what can you do? Guess we'll just have to settle with the LEGO Ghostbusters Firehouse set released 3 years after the Ideas pitch was denied. Hey, wait a second, that sounds a little bit suspicious. Yeah, this caused a pretty big controversy at the time of 2016. You see, in 2015, Sergio, the member of the Swiss Ghostbusters who had pitched this idea, actually traveled to the LEGO Ideas team, but was never told about the Ghostbusters HQ set they were making that looked very similar to his set. In response, Sergio was given a free copy of the set, though has said, and I quote, "It leaves a bitter taste when I look at both buildings next to each other, and I see a lot of similarities." So did LEGO steal his design? Well, I can't really say from how they're built, because I don't know how either set is built. But, I mean, they're both sets based on an existing property, so, I mean, of course they're going to look similar, Fabuland. Fabuland is a LEGO theme that ran from 1979 to 1989, and was aimed at very young children. This theme was about humanoid creatures with animal heads that just kind of lived their normal lives. Just think Animal Crossing before Animal Crossing. In fact, Fabuland was actually the first LEGO theme to have named characters and to have stories about these original characters, as the larger sets include stories in their instruction books about the sets that featured characters that weren't in the set. Most likely it's a way to advertise other sets. This theme was so popular that a TV show in the UK titled Edward and Friends was released, based on the sets. This show lasted for 19 5-minute episodes and was produced by Filmfare Productions. Because of its significance to LEGO, Fabuland still continues to be mentioned to this day. For example, you can actually see a few Fabuland characters in the LEGO Movie 2. Also, they sold fork, knives, and spoons as part of Fabuland, which is, very strange.
Dinosaurs.
There's been many different LEGO sets released across the years that have included dinosaurs. But what you may not know is that there was actually a theme just called Dinosaurs in 2001. That was literally just dinosaurs, nothing else. There were many of these sets released, but only 4 major sets. But each of these major sets could actually be rebuilt into 3 other dinosaurs. For example, the Brachiosaurus could be rebuilt into the Diplodocus or the Plesiosaur, while the Mosasaurus could be rebuilt into the Dimetrodon or an Iguanodon. This theme, while seemingly not important and kind of forgotten at the time, was actually the origin of the building style used for many different LEGO animals, like the dewback in the Mos Eisley Cantina set. Gold chrome-plated C-3PO. In 2007, LEGO created 5 different C-3PO minifigures made out of 14-karat gold. They did this for the 30th anniversary of Star Wars. To win, all you have to do is send in an entry with your name, age, address, and telephone number. They'd then choose 5 winners, and, well, that was it. Don't worry though if you didn't win. You can still buy them from people. Just for $300,000. Drunk football fan arrest. In promotion for the 1998 World Cup, LEGO released a set exclusively in Europe called Police Unit. It's not a super remarkable set by any means, but there is one funny thing of note. When you get down to it, this set is pretty much just a LEGO set about a police unit arresting a drunk football fan. Not really a situation you'd expect to see a LEGO set out of. Aqua Zone. Aqua Zone was a theme that lasted from 1995 to 1999, and was the first major theme made by LEGO that wasn't town, castle, or space related, because that was just LEGO for a while. Aqua Zone was about an underwater war over hydrolator crystals. Whatever those are. But yeah, it's chaos under the sea, as 5 different factions battle it out for these crystals. There's the Aquanauts, the Aqua Sharks, the Aqua Raiders... Wait a second. The Hydronauts and the Stingrays. So it's just this, like, giant free-for-all for the crystals. Aqua Zone is pretty much the granddaddy of every single underwater theme LEGO's ever done. So like Aqua Raiders, Atlantis, Divers, Deep Sea Explorers, and one of the sub-themes to Alpha Team. That's too little. There should be far more underwater themes. But yeah, because of this status, Aqua Zone is looked back on very fondly by people. Side note, the little joke I made earlier was just a joke. The 2007 Aqua Raiders theme isn't related at all to the Aqua Raiders and Aqua Zone. The Lego House. The Lego House is a building in Billund, Denmark, that's filled with 25 million Lego bricks. This entire thing is built in Lego's hometown and features tons of activities for children. Well, not actually made of Lego, because that would be the absolutely worst idea for a building ever. The building is built like 21 giant Lego bricks balancing each other. The house is split up into 4 zones. The red zone, which is where people can play with Lego, the yellow zone, where you can build Lego animals, the green zone, which is the zone dedicated to Lego stories and worlds, and the blue zone, which is all about games. Most interesting to me, however, is the Lego Museum. Yep, the Lego House features an entire museum about Lego. There's also gift shops, cafes, an entire playground on the roof of the building, and the Tree of Creativity, a giant Lego tree that stands 15 meters tall and is built out of 6,316,611 bricks. Brick Arms. Brick Arms is the third-party website started by Will Chapman that specializes in creating accurate weapons for Lego minifigures, based on real-world weapons or weapons from films and games like Star Wars, Halo, or Alien. While you could originally buy them directly off their website, since the early 2010s you have to buy their products from other websites. They also sell Lego accessories and body armor based on soldiers from World War II and modern-day conflicts. This whole thing started when Will Chapman's son approached his father and asked him for World War II Lego weapons, since he needed them for his builds. Will saw that Lego didn't make any, and decided,
fine. I'll do it myself.
Lego Universe. Lego Universe was Lego's attempt at creating an MMO. Released in 2010 and developed by NetDevil, Lego Universe was first teased in 2007 as this big open-world Lego MMO, with a story about multiple factions joining forces to battle the Maelstrom and its minions. The game was like most MMOs. You could level up, there was gear to discover, classes, locations to explore, missions to complete, etc. Being like most MMOs, LEGO Universe also included a subscription service, though you could play for free and get the most minimal amount of content possible. Despite the massive amount of money put into this game, LEGO Universe was shut down in 2012, only 1 year and 3 months after the launch of the game. This was because LEGO was not getting enough revenue from the project. Since its closure, some fans have attempted to revive this MMO, like Club Penguin or Toontown. Dark Flame Universe is probably the most successful attempt, as in December 2021, it went open source after the creators were unable to reach a legal agreement with the LEGO Group about public online play. Mixels. Mixels was a rather unique theme, released from 2014 to 2016. The idea behind this theme is the idea of collecting these small little creatures that can be combined with other creatures to create, and I quote, creative and unpredictable storylines. They also had enemies called Nixels, who would sometimes be sold with these Mixels. But yeah, the idea was that you would mix, max, and merp these Mixels. A mix being 2 Mixels who have combined, a max when 3 from a Mixel tribe combine, and a merp is when 4 or more Mixels mix together. And yes, they live in tribes. But these are the weirdest tribes ever. Like, you got your standard fire tribe, ice tribe, magic tribe, and, I don't know, cave tribe. But then there's a space tribe, a tongue tribe, a police tribe, a food tribe, a TV news tribe, a pirates tribe, a steampunk tribe, and a slime tribe. There was also a TV show released on Cartoon Network for these guys, though episodes range from being 30 seconds long to just 6 minutes. Atlantis. Atlantis was a LEGO theme that lasted from 2010 to 2011, and like the title suggests, is about the search for the lost city of Atlantis. The theme has a series of characters traveling thousands of feet under the sea in futuristic vehicles battling giant sea monsters, and sometimes human-sized creatures. This theme actually had quite a bit of story to go with it, as there was even a website created for this theme that details the backstory of some of the characters. This theme is notable for being the last underwater theme LEGO's done, not counting sub-themes. It's also notable for the Atlantis movie, a 22-minute long film released on Cartoon Network that told the story of the theme. This short film was actually animated in the same way Ninjago was, so this could be looked at as a test for Ninjago, and I guess later Nexo Knights and Legends of Tsushima. This theme is also known for its crossovers, as in 2011 when the story became centered around locating the Golden City, one of the Atlantis crew members, Bobby Booey, was dropped from the theme and replaced with Brains from Power Miners. It's even mentioned on LEGO.com's description for the set, Deep Sea Raider, that Brains was recruited into the Atlantis team after his mission underground was complete. So I guess the Power Miners won in the end. There's also one more crossover, but I will save that for later. Little Robots. Little Robots is a very strange theme. In 2003, a subsidiary of LEGO called Create Villain TV created the children's show Little Robots, which aired exclusively in the UK from 2003 to 2005. And because it was made by a subsidiary of LEGO, LEGO decided to create 23 sets based on the show as a sub-theme of Explore. But because Little Robots only aired in the UK, these sets were only ever released in the UK for online shopping. Since then, the 23 Little Robots sets produced from 2003 to 2004 have become some of the rarest modern LEGO sets. Throwbots. Throwbots, aka Slizzer in other countries besides the US and Canada, was LEGO's first attempt at a story-driven theme. Launched in 1999, Slizzer tells the story of 2 alien factions battling it out on the planet Slizzer, 4,000 light years from Earth. These factions usually battle it out in tournaments, using throwing discs. And each of them, like Bionicle, represents an element or location. And like many Bionicle figures, they can actually combine. The good Slizzers turn into Super Slizzer, while their evil counterparts turn into the Mega Slizzer. And so that's the story of the theme. For the entire world except for the US and Canada, because I guess we're just built different. Not only did they change the name of the theme to Throwbots, but they also changed the entire lore of the theme. In this continuity, Throwbots are robots created by aliens in another galaxy, and light years of self-maintenance have led to the Throwbots to adapt to their home worlds. While the planet Slizzer was split into different elements, in Throwbots, that planet doesn't exist. Each bot is the guardian of their own world, so there's no evil bots in this theme. While Slizzer and Throwbots have their fans today, there wasn't enough of them back in the day to make LEGO happy, so they moved on to Robo Riders. Robo Riders was a theme released from 2000 to 2001, literally right as the robots ended and Bionicle began. This theme's story was simple. It was about robotic anthro-bikes battling a computer virus on the internet. Yeah, it's kind of out there. These robot bikes, which contain the brains of humans, just kind of drive around, battling viruses. The main gimmick with these guys is the talisman wheels. Each set contained a random talisman wheel, so it promoted buying sets to collect them all. Only 8 Robo Rider sets were ever made, due to the fact that this theme was actually a filler theme, as Bionicle had originally intended to be released in 2000. But LEGO needed more time to flesh out the story, so they pushed it back a year and came up with Robo Riders to fill in the missing time. Nesquik. A cross-promotion between LEGO and Nesquik in 2001 led to the creation of 3 different Nesquik LEGO sets. 2 in the LEGO Studios theme, and 1 in the Drone Racers theme. The first one was called Quickie the Bunny, and was literally just the minifigure of Quickie. Then there's Film Set with Quickie, where Steven Spielberg is about to direct a Nesquik commercial where Quickie drives a 2-wheeled car. Damn, Spielberg, I know AI was bad, but I didn't think you'd fall this hard. And finally, Quickie Racer, which is just Quickie driving a pullback motorized car. This wouldn't be the last time LEGO would partner with Nesquik, though, as in 2003, Nesquik had LEGO Sports CD-ROMs packaged with their products. Speaking of LEGO Sports, LEGO Sports. LEGO Sports was a LEGO theme that ran from 2000 to 2004, with various different sub-themes, each dedicated to a different sport. You had football, basketball, hockey, and gravity games, which were just skateboarding and snowboarding. Though, while all under this general theme of sports, some sub-themes were a lot different from others. Like hockey, for example, instead of the standard LEGO sets, LEGO Hockey were slammers, brick-built figures you push down on to move the puck. Then there's the basketball sets, which featured very unique LEGO minifigures that had springs built into their legs to make them jump. There were also packs of collector LEGO figures based on real basketball players. Then with football, most of those sets were based around the World Cup, so you had many different sets exclusive to certain countries based on their teams. Sadly for sports fans, since 2004, LEGO hasn't really done anything with the idea of LEGO Sports. Outside the occasional sports-related minifigure, who knows, maybe one day we'll get more LEGO Sports, and maybe they'll come with American football, or tennis, or golf or something. Tabletop LEGO Sports. Released in the LEGO Sports theme, there were multiple games released intended to be played with 2 people. They were exclusively released under the hockey and football sub-themes. In fact, the 2 hockey games released were both pretty unique, as one featured normal LEGO minifigures instead of the slammers, and the other one was street hockey, the only time the sport was ever represented in the theme. Friends controversy. So ever since LEGO Friends started out in 2012, there's been a lot of controversy around it. Many people accuse the theme of being sexist, as it apparently encourages female stereotypes, such as, being addicted to phones, caring about makeup in their hair, love cooking, love animals, love clothes, and the whole line's color scheme in general being a pinkish purple kind of thing. Now, I get some of the arguments, though a lot of these can just be applied to toys aimed at girls in general, but some I think are a bit silly. Like, who doesn't love animals? And literally everyone has a phone nowadays. Considering how LEGO Friends is one of the most profitable LEGO themes ever, I think it's safe to say that even if these accusations are true, LEGO don't care. Hey Babe sticker. In 2013, LEGO was under fire after releasing a package of LEGO City themed stickers, with one of them being a construction worker saying, "Hey babe." People accuse the sticker of being sexist, as it's literally just a cat-calling sticker. I really don't know why LEGO had to include that. Seriously, saying hey is like a LEGO City thing. Just keep the hey. Why did they have to add babe? Why make it a cat-calling sticker? Board games. From 2009 to 2013, LEGO released a theme called LEGO Games that consisted of just LEGO board games, which, as the name suggests, are board games that you build with LEGO. Now, LEGO's done board games in the past, like the LEGO Pirates Tic-Tac-Toe set from 2009, or the 2008 Castle Chess set, but instead of being based on an existing game, these were all original board games, created by veteran board game designers. And while for the most part being completely original themes, sometimes board games would be based on an existing theme, like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, or Legends of Chima. Eventually, LEGO decided not just to have their own LEGO board game, but to also create their own LEGO board game sub-theme, that being Heroica. Heroica had 5 different sets to collect, and you could combine every one of the models to create one giant game. The best part was that there wasn't a set way to design the board. You could arrange it however you wanted. However, this theme didn't last very long, only lasted for 2011 to 2012, and shortly afterwards in 2013, the LEGO Games theme came to an end as well. Greenpeace vs. Shell. In 2014, Greenpeace, an independent campaigning network around climate change, released a video in protest of LEGO's latest partnership with Shell. The video consisted of LEGO characters, like the LEGO movie characters, drowning to death in oil in the Arctic. This is because Shell planned on drilling for oil in the Arctic, and they're already a massive contributor to pollution. Besides the video, which I'll link below, they also held protests to get LEGO to drop their partnership with Shell. This campaign was ultimately a success, as on October 8, 2014, LEGO announced they would drop their partnership with Shell and never sell Shell-themed sets again. Though they also stated that they did not care for the way Greenpeace protested. In fact, the CEO of the LEGO Group said in a statement, "The Greenpeace campaign uses the LEGO brand to target Shell. And as we stated before, we firmly believe Greenpeace ought to have direct conversation with Shell. The LEGO brand and everyone who enjoys creative play should never have become part of this dispute between Greenpeace and Shell. Our stakeholders have high expectations of the way we operate. So do we. We do not agree with the tactics used by Greenpeace that may have created misunderstanding among our stakeholders about the way we operate, and we want to ensure our attention is not diverted from our commitment to delivering creative and inspiring play experiences." Cancelled Hobbits DLC. In 2014, LEGO released the LEGO Hobbits the video game, a video game based on the first 2 Hobbit films after the success of the Lord of the Rings game. However, it didn't cover the third and final installment of the trilogy, as that film wasn't out yet. But it was reported at the London Toy Fair that the game would have a massive DLC that would cover the events of the final film in the series, that would be released around the same time of the film. However, this would never actually release. And in 2015, it was then reported that Traveler's Tale had no plans on adapting the film as a DLC, or even as its own game, but they did originally have plans to adapt it. But don't worry, LEGO Hobbit does have some pretty sweet DLC, like the Big Little Character Pack, or the Side Quest Character Pack, and the Battle Pack. Huh. I mean, I guess it's better than LEGO Jurassic World's DLC. The Maori Language Controversy. In 2002, several Maori tribes from New Zealand reported that LEGO had no respect for them as they had used some of their words from their native language to name certain characters, locations, and objects in the Bionicle storyline. They sent LEGO a complaint, and surprisingly LEGO agreed to change the name of certain story elements, though they would make an agreement about using a very small minority of words in their language. For example, LEGO kept the name Toa, but changed the name of the Tohunga to the Matoran. Ai Weiwei. Ai Weiwei is a Chinese contemporary artist and political activist. While living in China, he was extremely critical of the Chinese government and investigated corruption and cover-ups. He was eventually allowed to leave China in 2015, and since then has continued on with his art. One of his favorite things to work with when it comes to art is LEGO. He's explained that he appreciates the accessibility and the ubiquity of the bright, colorful bricks, even saying in a quote, "As an artist, I always avoid making my art too artsy or too high taste. I want my art to be fresh, to be understood by children." Some of his most notable LEGO art pieces include one in Mexico City in 2019, where he created LEGO portraits of 43 missing pupils who were kidnapped and reportedly murdered in 2014. Underneath every portrait is a timeline of key dates and their disappearances, along with the government's official version of the events. He's explained that this piece was made to be a commentary on the unsolved cases, though easily his most famous LEGO art piece is Trace from 2014. Created in Alcatraz as a site-specific installation, it quickly gained attention and has since been moved to the Smithsonian. The art piece depicts 176 portraits of activists, prisoners of conscience, and free speech advocates. Despite the high praise he's gotten, he has a controversial history with the LEGO Group, as in 2015, LEGO refused to sell him LEGO bricks directly to make art, as apparently the LEGO Group's policy was to reject requests if it was believed that bricks would be used to make a political statement. However, after enough backlash, LEGO reversed its policy on the matter.
Coming up next,
more new Ninjago, Masters of Spinjitzu.
New from LEGO Mars Mission. Astronauts have discovered the alien hive. The fierce alien commander rises from the deep to attack. It's in your hands to build the new hypersonic spacecraft. Secure your crew and fight back. No matter the enemy, you can defend the mission. With the new LEGO Mars Mission Collection, each set sold separately.
New from LEGO. Dinosaurs are attacking the city. With new LEGO vehicles, you have the power to take on this dino threat. Start the adventure. Track the dinos. Set up the ambush and take control. Only you can stop the dino attack. Better building, more fun. Each set sold separately.
later, LEGO Star Wars Padawan Menace on Cartoon Network.
Fight on the Flying Wing Swastika. In pre-release images for the 2009 Indiana Jones set, Fight on the Flying Wing, you can actually see a swastika in the background on the plane. Now, while this is screen accurate, as in the film the plane does have a swastika there, you can't really have a swastika in a LEGO set, so this was removed before release. Belleville. Belleville was a LEGO theme that lasted from 1994 to 2009, and is basically what LEGO Friends succeeded. This theme was aimed at girls, but was even more aggressive about it. Because while Friends sets have modified minifigures, Belleville just didn't have minifigures at all, but instead, dolls. What is this weird thing where all the sets aimed at girls never having minifigures? Like, I don't get it. Do they think girls just don't like minifigures? It's really weird. I mean, they still do it to this day, so I don't know what they're thinking. Anyways, this theme had your standard cliche girl themes like princesses, housewife, and horse riding. Very weird that horse riding is a girl's sport according to toys, but whatever, I guess. Eggo Waffles. In 2007, in partnership with Kellogg's, LEGO-shaped Eggo Waffles were released, and some even included things besides waffles, like the LEGO Star Wars 2 LEGO Waffles that included game codes, and the Bionicle LEGO Waffles, which I actually don't know. Maybe there was something in there? I don't know. Anyways, I lived for these back in 2007, and remember trying to build stuff with them. And before you go, oh, you can't build with them, they're waffles, you can't play with your food. Bullshit. Look at this commercial.
Fork! No! I must run like the wind! No! Lego.
New Eggo Lego Waffles. The part of this nutritious breakfast you just can't let go. Lego my Eggo!
They advertised that you could. Infuriating. I still lay awake at night furious not being able to build a LEGO ATST out of waffle shaped like LEGO bricks when I was 7 years old 14 years ago. LEGO Crucifix. From 1952 to 1958, LEGO produced and sold Christian crosses as a fundraiser tool for specific churches. They were known as Indra crosses and came in a box like this. This is especially funny nowadays as LEGO has a rule that they can't make sets based on real-world religions. Though you could argue that this actually isn't a set. But it doesn't really matter because in 1958 they made an official LEGO church set, so... Cybermaster. Only lasting 1 year in 1998, with only 2 sets, Cybermaster was a small Technic sub-theme that was basically the beta for Mindstorms. You'd use software to program a LEGO brick and communicate via an RF tower which connected to a PC serial port. I don't know what either of those are. The sets came with no instructions, and if you actually wanted to build the set, you needed to use the CD-ROM that came with the set, as each building step was its own video file you had to watch. A lot more complicated than just, simple instructions. Also, if you somehow get a hold of a Cybermaster set nowadays, have fun building it because Cybermaster was built for Windows 95 and 98, so it doesn't really work with modern operating systems. Though I'm sure you could somehow get it to work, but again, I have no idea how. Seatron. Seatron was a cancelled LEGO theme and would have been part of the big LEGO space continuity. The idea of the theme was that a bunch of astronauts landed on an underwater alien world, and would use underwater monorails to travel between bases. Originally set to release in the early 90s, there were two reasons why this theme never got released, despite many prototypes being made. The first being that it was going to have aliens in some of the sets, but LEGO said, and I quote, "It's not time yet to have aliens." But the main reason was the monorail system. You see, Futuron, which I talked about earlier in the space continuity entry, had many monorail sets, but none of them sold very well. So LEGO decided not to take the risk again and scrapped the entire theme, as it was heavily focused on monorails. Flesh House. There's a really common joke out there among LEGO fans that the worlds the LEGO minifigures live in are made of LEGO, so that means that they're living in a world, or I guess house in this case, made from the flesh of other minifigures. It's one of those jokes that you might see somebody on Reddit take seriously, in like an r/creepy post, like, "What do you think about it? LEGO minifigures are living in homes of their own flesh. Makes you think." This joke may have been popularized by a Robot Chicken skit, but I'm not entirely sure. Now, do LEGO minifigures actually live and operate in buildings and houses of their own flesh? I mean, maybe. I mean, technically no. Technically yes. They're toys. Who cares? Technic Star Wars. From 2000 to 2002, LEGO produced 9 different Star Wars sets made out of Technic pieces, which looked... yeah. Look, some looked better than others, like the Pit Droid and Droidica actually look pretty solid. But then there's Jango Fett, R2-D2, Darth Vader, and the Stormtrooper, which don't look all that great in my opinion. These sets weren't really super popular, and so after 2002, LEGO just kind of gave up on them, and they've just been forgotten at the time. Though LEGO hasn't stopped doing buildable Star Wars characters, as over the years we've gotten ones made out of normal LEGO blocks, and for the most part they all look pretty good. Hell, even my son Dio got a model. Then there's also the Bionicle Star Wars figures that they kept making for like a couple of years, and these didn't sell very well, so they stopped making them. 9/11 Alpha Team censorship. In the Alpha Team set Ogle Control Center, there was a comic included which tells the story of Ogle taking off on a plane to Lego City and killing a bunch of civilians with gas bombs. Well, I mean, okay, he doesn't, like, kill them, but he turns them into skeletons, which... come on, I mean, if you're a skeleton, there's a fair chance you might not be alive. So this second comic released in 2001, and decided to censor the comic after the 9/11 terrorist attacks. This new comic has a member of Alpha Team showing up and stopping Ogle right before Ogle takes off on his plane, so all the scenes of the city and the bombs being dropped were cut. Though the aftermath of the bombs being dropped is still kept in the comic for whatever reason. Mr. Bunny. Alright, I apologize, I have no idea what this is. I mean, I do, it's Mr. Bunny. It's a polybag from 2003. I don't know why I put this on the Iceberg. I really, I don't... because I made this Iceberg roughly about a month ago. Well, a month before I began recording, which was in December, so I made this all basically in November. I don't remember why I put this thing on. So, here he is, I guess. Cancelled Hero Factory movie. In 2012, it was reported by The Hollywood Reporter that a Hero Factory movie was being developed by Universal, with Michael Finch and Alec Litvak signed on to write the film, while Mark Gordon and Brian Zurif produced. However, unlike every other LEGO movie ever made, this would be an entirely live-action movie with CGI heroes. Kinda like the Transformers films. Sadly for Hero Factory fans, this film seemingly got cancelled, as it's been a decade since the announcement, and nothing's come out of it. And, you know, Hero Factory ended like 6 years ago. ASD Funeral Theme. Alright, so there's a company called MyASD, which is an answering service for funeral directors. And in fall 2020, they held a contest to funeral homes with the chance of winning one of 4 LEGO ASD funeral theme sets. These sets include the LEGO Embalming Room, the LEGO Funeral Service set, the LEGO Hearse set, and the LEGO Cemetery set. In order to win such interesting prizes, funeral homes have to do one of 3 things: visit their virtual booth at the NFDA convention, Oh yeah, I should mention that these sets were given out at the National Funeral Directors Association International Convention and Expo. No, this is not a joke. There is a convention for funerals. Step 2 was to enter ASD's Fall Photo Contest, where you had to share photos on social media that shows how your funeral home is decorating for Halloween. And the last step had funeral homes take ASD's Client Testimonial Challenge, where you had to share a video on their Facebook explaining why your funeral home chose ASD to be their answering service. Now you might be wondering, why? Why is this a thing? Well, apparently ASD does this because there's not a lot of novelty gifts out there for funeral directors. LEGO Wine. In 1997, LEGO released official LEGO wine to LEGO employees as a New Year's gift. This box came with 2 bottles of wine, one red and the other white. On the package it reads, "We wish you a great 1997" in Danish. Not much else to say other than LEGO sold alcohol before, which I think would probably go against their alcohol policy nowadays. Xylax. Xylax was an extremely short-lived theme in 2001. It was a sub-theme of LEGO racers and were very cheap small race cars. And I don't mean cheap as in the material is cheap, I mean each of these guys was sold for $3. These sets each contained roughly 8 to 9 pieces outside of one bigger set and featured no minifigures, but instead these weird, bulky Xylax cube people. Since its end in 2001, Xylax has been relatively forgotten about, with its lasting legacy being the final unlockable world in LEGO Racers 2. Turkish Airlines. In 2019, Turkish Airlines partnered with LEGO to create plane safety videos. And no, Chris Pratt and Elizabeth Banks don't reprise their roles as Emmett and Wildstyle. Although Will Arnett does reprise his role as Batman and Tara Strong as Unikitty, so there's that, I guess. What's interesting about the first short film is that it's the only time we've ever seen the LEGO Batman movie, LEGO Ninjago movie, and LEGO movie characters interacting with each other. Besides LEGO Dimensions, of course. And in the second safety video, they even tease they're going to make a third one. And just like the LEGO Movie 3, it's not going to happen. Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium. Released in promotion for the film Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium, no, don't lie to me, you have not seen this movie, LEGO released Mr. Megorium's Big Book, which was a pretty large collection of 9 small models that were either previously polybags or promotional releases. Despite only being sold for roughly 3 months from October 2007 to December of the same year, you can actually find these for a decent price online, so I guess, just like the movie, nobody cares about this set. Actually wait, it's not even a set, it's a product collection. Ferrari. From 2004 to 2012, LEGO partnered with Ferrari to create racer sets based on Formula 1 racing. But since they partnered with Ferrari, they were only allowed to make sets based around Ferrari vehicles or locations. This cross-promotion was notable for racers as multiple sets in 2006 through 2009 featured minifigures in the sets, which weren't exactly a common sight in racer sets. There was even a set that included famous Formula 1 racers. And since a lot of these Ferrari sets had Shell also in this promotion, I think it's safe to say LEGO will not be making Formula 1 Ferrari sets for a long time. Speed Racer. I meant to talk about this earlier in the video in the promotional themes section, but I forgot to add it there, and like a month later, as I'm still recording this, I randomly remembered, crap, I forgot to put it in. So, yeah, it'd be a pain to go back and try to cram in this info into that section, so I'm just gonna put it here. Sorry. But yeah, Speed Racer was a LEGO Racers sub-theme based on the film of the same name. For a long time, most LEGO fans barely remembered this theme existing. That was until a few years ago when people suddenly woke up and realized, oh yeah, that existed. And since then, LEGO Speed Racer has become the mascot of modern obscure LEGO themes. Surprisingly, there were actually 4 sets released under this sub-theme. Why is that surprising? Well, it seems that LEGO had very little to work with, as 2 of the sets featured the same model car. So if you owned one of these sets, you technically owned half of another. Galador. Easily the strangest licensed theme LEGO's ever done, Galador was a live-action show about a kid named Nick Bluetooth, what a great name, protecting his dimension from aliens as Nick finds pieces of a key that will unlock the sealed gates to Galador. It's a very obscure show and only lasted 26 episodes in 2002. Oh yeah, and by the way, I lied. This isn't a licensed theme. This show was funded and owned by the LEGO Group. Galador sets were bulky figures that didn't look anything like LEGO. In fact, the only thing kind of like LEGO was the fact you could swap limbs between characters. So instead of building like houses or whatever, you could build your own horrid abomination. There was also a McDonald's line of toys, and well, imagine pulling these things out of your Happy Meal. Galador has gone down as one of the worst selling LEGO themes ever produced. And honestly, it's very easy to see why. I don't know what they were thinking with this. Atlantis, Dino, Alien Conquest, Pharaoh's Quest, and Monster Fighters. So there's a very strange continuity in LEGO that consists of the themes Atlantis, Dino, Alien Conquest, Pharaoh's Quest, and Monster Fighters. The story of how all these were connected was told in the LEGO Club magazine from November to December 2011, and the way they're connected is as follows. The aliens of Alien Conquest once captured the Golden King and gave him to the Atlantis monsters, which allowed Atlantis to be taken over by the monsters. They did this for weapons because I guess the aliens needed tridents or something. The aliens later then built the pyramids for some reason. Centuries later, the monster fighters defeat the monsters, which attracts the attention of the aliens, or an alien species, but it's not the same Alien Conquest species, but the alien species from Galaxy Squad, which is a sequel to Alien Conquest, so whatever. Anyways, the Alien Conquest aliens show up, take some treasure from the pharaohs, abducts the Golden King yet again, and uses a magic trident to attempt to overthrow the Earth. But the alien plans fail, so the alien commander's backup plan is then to travel back in time and unleash an army of dinosaurs on Earth. So yes, all these themes are connected, as are Power Miners, Galaxy Squad, and Ultra Agents by extension. Domestic Church Supply Company. The Domestic Church Supply Company is a company that provides churches with things like LEGO sets? Yeah, they sell 3 different LEGO sets based on churches. In fact, I can't really find any other product on their website outside of these LEGO sets, and one other product we'll talk about later. There's the classic set, Father Leopold Celebrates Mass, and Father John Hears Confessions. An Advent Wreath. I don't really understand the legality here. You see, just like with the funeral service sets, these are made with actual Legos. A fact they really want to specify. But unlike the funeral service sets, which were prizes, you can buy these sets with actual money. Is there some religious excuse that gets LEGO off their backs? I don't know. Is it legal because it has original bricks involved? Because they really like to specify they have original bricks. But hey, the company also sells another religious LEGO book. I'm not buying it. It's just not happening. But this time, 2 children discuss events of the Bible or something. It's like 290 pages, goddamn. LEGO Festo. So I don't really know how much of this I can show to you because YouTube's very weird. LEGO Festo is a political artist who makes LEGO art pieces based directly on war crimes and torture. She does this to spread awareness about human rights abuses all around the globe, and each of her pieces is directly based on photos and first-person testimonies. I would suggest looking into this if you're old enough, which you should be. I don't make videos for people who are younger than 18. But the things she links and talks about are very graphic and horrible, and but they should be known. They should be known. While originally just a blog, her art was displayed at a museum in Belgium from November 1st, 2013 to June 29th, 2014, at the museum's War and Trauma exhibits. Since 2013, she hasn't really done anything online, at least that I can find, and I'm pretty sure she's not doing art anymore, at least in the LEGO War Crimes department. Zbigniew Libera. Zbigniew Libera is a Polish artist born in 1959. He's become rather infamous for his LEGO concentration camp set he designed in 1996 as an art piece. LEGO had actually given him free bricks to use for the art piece, but had no idea what this art piece was. So when they found out it was a concentration camp, they were like, we don't endorse this. But Libera, I think being a bit of a troll, then included a controversial notice on his art piece saying, "Sponsored by LEGO Systems." It was very controversial at the time. I mean, it still is. But in 2002, it hit the peak of its controversy when it was displayed at a Jewish museum in New York City, as part of a show titled Mirroring Evil, Nazi Imagery Recent Art. Critics have said that the art trivializes the Holocaust, though there are defenders of this art piece, saying the LEGO sets mirror the evil ingenuity required to construct the camps. Even art historians have commented on it, saying that the set seeks to represent and refigure the Holocaust in a more familiar register that recovers its meaning from overbearing Holocaust education programs. Wow, those last two entries were pretty heavy. Let's look at some LEGO commercials to cheer us up a bit.
Coming up next,
more new Ninjago, Masters of Spinjitzu.
The Vikings are under attack. The enormous power of the monster can capsize the ship, but the brave Vikings make ready for battle. With their monster cannon, join the valiant LEGO Vikings in their fight against the monsters in the fog.
New LEGO Power Miners. An evil giant rock monster is attacking, forcing the Power Miners to swing into action. Now you can build the awesome command rig with a monster cage and a soaring drilling tower. Transform to attack mode, activate the powerful titanium drill, and fight back.
Watch out! Incoming monster!
Monster cage activated.
You control the battle with the new LEGO Power Miners, each set sold separately.
later, LEGO Star Wars Padawan Minute on Cartoon Network.
And that's it. That's the LEGO Iceberg. We're done. Finally done. This was supposed to come out obviously last month, but yeah, you know the story already. But yeah, this was a lot of fun to make. I don't really have much to add this time around, to be honest with you. Outside of the Call of Duty Iceberg's next, then Batman Part 2 is after will be after Call of Duty, because I would like to get that out around the same time as the Batman releases in March. But we'll see what happens. I don't want to set up dates. More content always coming, and who knows? Maybe a live stream or two may happen. Who knows? We'll see. And with that, stay safe and have a good day.